How I helped my client rank his website on the first page of Google for 93,000 searches per month search volume keyword, and along with other bigger terms such as 47,000 searches per month keywords and more. In this video, I'll show you how. Hi guys, this is Jackie from TechJackie.com, and in this video, I'll show you how I was able to help my e-commerce client rank for many of his commercial keywords for a bigger keyword such as 93,000 searches per month or 47,000 searches per month, as you can see right here. And this is from a Ahrefs dashboard that is connected to the client's website search console. So it's a website that I have access to, as you can see right here. For example, this one even has a KD or keyword difficulty of 69, ranking number 3 on search on Google search results. And by the way, even this one has a low search keyword difficulty, but it's still very competitive keywords. So without further ado, let's get started. So just to give you a quick background about this website that I've worked with, the client runs a flowers and cake shop website. So the client has an e-commerce website, has a multiple categories, selling flowers, all kind bouquets, and let's say flowers for different occasion, etc., etc., and also different kinds of cakes and bakeries for on the website, right? So it's quite a big website, has many pages, and the website is runs on Shopify, which is an e-commerce platform. So essentially, this video will look into three aspects: the technical SEO, the on-page and SEO, and then the off-page SEO. We also will look at this overall strategy as well. So first of all, with the technical SEO, now when it comes to technical SEO, uh, or e-commerce website have to take care a few things, such as what we can say duplicate pages. So the first thing was when I before I even worked on this website, once I got had my hands on this website, I found quite a few duplicated pages. So such as product pages or some of the collection pages that are also kind of duplicate. So we did some cleanup, right? And we redirected some of the pages. We made sure that there were no overlapping of pages here and there. And let's say, there are some products and, some tag pages that don't have a lot of content on. So we either delete them or we rewrite the content to make sure that they're more SEO optimized and has more content for the users, right? And on top of that, when it comes to technical SEO, we also make sure that this overall navigation and user experience is easy for users. So let me show you an example here of the website. So obviously I'm blocking the keyword right here just for the sake of website's privacy. But like as you can see, this is the website. I did a quick search on the keyword birthday cake. And this, by the way, is not my client website. It's the other website I will use as an example to show you how I worked on the client website. So as you can see, this website right here has a bunch of navigation menu, and in each navigation menu, there are also sub menus that are easily accessible to different kind of like subcategories and all that. So first, you have to make sure that all of the important categories, including subcategories, are easily accessible within the navigation menu like this, right? Because when you have when you have them placed in this format, obviously you can arrange them to look prettier, better, and all that. Number one, it makes it easier for users to navigate around, click through the website to explore what are available. Secondly, it makes easier for Google bots to crawl and understand your website structure better, right? Because sometimes if you have important pages or categories, something like that, that are not easily linked within the navigation menu like this, it would be a hard time for both users and Googlebot to discover those pages and to assign the importance of those pages, right? So key takeaways: all the important pages, such as collection pages or categories, subcategories, should be placed in the navigation menu, makes it easier for users and Googlebot to access. Right, so those are just a few things in technical SEO. So make sure no duplicate pages, thin content pages, or pages with little to no content. Either delete them, redirect them, or you can rewrite the content on them to make them much better, right? And then also easily accessible site structure, very important. All the important pages should be easily linked, easily accessible. So also it has, a lot of internal link going to them as well. Next up with the on page. So a lot of the keywords that we rank for high volume keywords were all collection or category pages. The reason is because let's say we do a search for birthday cake, the first thing before you even write your content is you have to understand the search intent or the user intent, what Google expects, the kind of content to rank on. So if you do a quick search for birthday cake and if you check on a bunch of top ranking websites, you'll see that a lot of them, like for example, this one here, are either collection or category pages or product type pages, right? So based on this keyword, you have to first analyze, okay, what are the kind of websites ranking for this keyword? And we see the majority of the website, we see the format and everything, and then we create a content around that. So for birthday cake keywords, you can see um, this is the website, one of the top ranking website. The majority of pages that Google choose to rank for are collection or category pages. And therefore, if you want to rank, you have to use either your collection or your product page, right? Now, in my experience, if you have to choose between product or category or collections, I recommend you go with collection pages or category pages like this more because Google seems to like them a little bit more than product page, right? So obviously, after we analyze the search intent in on-page SEO, we start creating a bunch of these collection or category pages. And then when it comes to optimizing these pages, first we have to make sure that the title tag is properly optimized so it has all the keywords in there. Second place to optimize would be this what we call as first paragraph or the first chunk of content right underneath your H1. So your title, and then don't forget your H1 or your heading tag, and then you would have a bunch of content around on this area. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can just be like a few paragraphs, which contains your keyword there, and then maybe explain what you do and all that, and then jump straight away to the main content that is what users are actually looking for, right? Now, some websites, they also will have like a bunch of content below the products. The thing is, you can have more SEO content at the bottom, but the problem is a lot of people like to overdo that. Just like to have like thousand, if not thousand more words of content at the bottom, and that actually will become a problem. The reason is because, as you can see right here, the intent behind this keyword is the majority of them is collection or product type pages. Now if you have a lot of content at the bottom and also if you have them on the top, then what happens is if the content overshadow the product, then Google might start to think that this is more like a blog rather than a collection pages, right? Because when you look at the blog type content, they're generally long form content with a lot of content with a lot of words on it, right? So in the same way, if your collection or your of your category pages have a lot of content, then Google might start to look at it as being more like a blog rather than collection page. So try to keep your content optimal. This part is important where while the content at the bottom here is optional. You can have them, they can be a little bit helpful, but based on my test and all that, they don't really do much. So you can even ignore them if you want to. But if let's say you want to have some, then try to keep it minimal. Don't have to go a lot into the content part. Because what Google really looks for is your products here, right? They want to see that you have products and more importantly, a lot of products. You want to have lots of choice of product available so that Google can see that, yes, you are useful to the users, right? So just to give a quick summary of an e-commerce collection pages format. So let's say this is the form, your collection or category page. You would have your title, well optimized with the keyword, your H1 on the top, and then a little bit of content on the top there, maybe 2 3 lines, and then your products, make sure you add as many products as possible so you show your users, you show to Google that you have lots of choices for users and therefore your content is valuable or useful, and then you could have a small chunk of content at below underneath your product as well if you want to. This is an optional part, but make sure that you don't overdo it, right? Now when it comes to optimizing your title, your h1, and this paragraphs right here, thing is, you can keep it as on the simple side of thing, like by having your main keyword there and maybe some relevant words. Obviously, there are more nuance into like properly optimizing these areas to try to squeeze a little bit more out of your on page. I'm not going to get into detail into that because it takes a lot of more time, and also it's something which I only do it on my SEO client website, or I teach as part of my SEO coaching program. So if you want to learn more, you can check out the link in the description. But even if you stick to the basics, it will still work fine, right? As long as you have a lot of products available for the customers, and also you design the page to be in the right intent, right format, right? So that's generally what we just focus on the on page, creating a lot of these category pages, try to capture different, different products or keywords. So what happened is this is on a one page thing. So you have your title, your H1, your first paragraph, your content. Then now you also want to do what I call as topical relevance, right? So you want to build up topical authority on your website as well. So what you want to do is you want to have as many product pages or product categories as many as possible on the website. So let's say on a single page you have the format that I just recommended you to make them. Then you would try to build as many as possible of these pages, right? So the more of these pages you have on the website, the more you become, topically relevant to the topic. So let's say you sell like flowers and cakes, right? Just similar to my client. Then you want to build up, many pages around this clusters. So you want to have flowers, and then you would want to have like different, kind of subcategories underneath flowers, like flowers for different occasions, different flowers for colors, right? Flowers, different format of flowers and all that, and also the cakes and bakery as well. So you would have, different kind of cakes available, like cupcakes and all that. So build as many of these as possible. A lot of people might also think about, okay, having blogs on the website. The thing is, on my client website, we really didn't focus anything on blogs. We just focus on building collections and product pages. And these are enough really to really help build this up. Blogs, they belong to information type content. They won't bring you direct sales, and they don't really contribute much to your commercial, topical relevance keyword. Because a lot of people, they would like to think that, okay, if they have blogs and they will help their commercial keywords. But in reality, Google doesn't just, Google looks at the blogs and commercial keywords a little bit different. So you want to focus or prioritize your work on building topical relevance around different pages on the same group of keyword. That is, let's say in this case, is your commercial keywords, right? So for on-page SEO, user intent, very important. So check out the competitors, see what kind of pages rank for, and then design the similar type of content. And then secondly, for collection or categories, you want to make it minimal. So title, optimize, H1, first paragraph, and then display as many products as possible, as many products as possible. And then third, you want to build topical relevance around commercial keywords, right? So this is essentially what we did. And then once we have many of these, then the traffic start flowing in, and then it kind of helps each other to help build up the overall domain authority and relevance to the topic. And then third, when it comes to off-page SEO, the three things that we focus on. The first one is branding. So the client runs some kind of ads, such as Facebook ads and Google ads, regularly to help build up a brand. So the client website does have some kind of branding and marketing in place, and therefore we receive regular brand search and brand clicks, which helps improve our overall SEO effort. Now, besides branding, we also build a bunch of backlinks, and high quality ones. So I focus on guest posts, press release. So we run some press release periodically to some of the pages on the website, some of the main keywords on the website. And I also built some high quality PBN as well. So these are, set up websites that are privately owned. So you can either buy them or you build them yourself. And these are links from the home page, which are, and when you talk about the power of backlinks, links from the homepage are generally the strongest one. So they help push and even give more authority to some of the pages, as more like a kind of like supporting type of backlinks. And you might think, okay, is it safe to use PBN? Yes, of course, if you use them the right way. And the thing is, as long as you mix in high quality real type backlinks like guest posts and press release, you can use this from time to time to help provide additional boost and support to your overall backlinking campaigns, right? So this is how we did it. And then lastly, I also did some what I call viral traffic. So sending significant amount of traffic to some pages on the website over a short amount of time. So you can think of it like 150 to 300 users or visitors traffic to some of these pages in 10 to 15 minutes. So these are kind of one of my secret strategies that I've been talking a lot about on my channel as well, and also is something which I offer as a standalone service too. So this kind of viral traffic, it is designed to help provide an additional boost. So if you use them correctly, they can help increase the overall domain authority, and also it can help even speed up your rankings and even push up the rankings in within 24 hours. So I'll leave a link in the description for you to learn more about the viral traffic service. But let me show you right here. So this is the landing page of my service. You can literally get a ranking boost within 24 hours or less using this kind of service. And the pricing here just starts at $19 per boost or per one-time boost. Now, if you want a more permanent results, I recommend you either go with the 15 days or the 30 days ones and send them to different URLs on your website, right? So this will help build up the overall domain authority and give more permanent results. I have information on how you can use them, and even a lot of testimonials and people using them see great results. So I'll leave the link in the description for you to learn more about it. But these are the three things that we did when it comes to off-page SEO. And then at the end, it's just rinse and repeat. So we create more content around the topics. We optimize them well. We do some regular branding. We build some backlinks, and then we send the viral traffic regularly to the website with different pages. And within a short amount of time, we were able to quickly rank for a lot of high commercial keywords, high volume, value commercial keywords on the first page of Google. So that's all for it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.